Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jean. Okay, as promised, I told you I was going to show you what I do with these little clothespins. I got these off of Temu. I will link them below. These are plastic ones. I have made another video on clothespins, but that one I didn't drill holes in it. So I'm going to show you how I drill holes and how I add charms and other things to use in my albums and junk journals. So they are so easy to do. Just make sure you have a clamp. And then I have my little drill. I do not know what size bit this is. They don't have sizes on them, and they all just came thrown in a pack. So I do not know what size that is, but you don't need a very big one at all. If I had to guess, let me see if I can just put it on here. I mean, it's like maybe 2 millimeter. So got that. So all we want to do is put it in our clamp. I'm going to get it where I want it first and then tighten it down. And I'm going to try to do this. This is really hard to show when I do beaded work and stuff. But we're going to do our best here. So I'm going to make sure it's in there. You want to make sure it's in there tight. Okay. Put on a pair of glasses, which looks like they ran off this minute too. Oh, they're right in front of me. Okay, so I'll put those on. They're like right there in front of me. Okay, nice and tight. Now all I'm going to do is just drill a little hole right in the top here. Okay, that's all we're going to do. So I'm going to hope you can see this. It's going to be hard to show. I'm going to try to, I don't know how I'm going to show this, you know, because it's going to be really hard to do and hold steady. So let's give this our best shot here. Hold on to it. I don't push too hard. I just kind of let the drill do its own work and go back in and out to get that extra plastic out, because sometimes plastic stays clogged in there. But it's as simple as that to put a hole in your plastic. Anything, your charms work that way, anything. I'll show you one more. Got that. I just set it down on the metal base and then clamp down as tight as you can. So that way it's staying in there pretty securely. Okay. Now we're going to try this again to show you again. If I can show you from another view. As close as I can get here. I'm getting camera first. Let's tilt it. Here goes nothing. Now normally I wouldn't do this in the air like this, so don't do it. The things I do for you guys, I don't know. Okay, so but it's just that easy to drill your hole in, and now you have nice perfect hole that you can add a jump ring to. All right, so let's get that off to our side, and let's see, what should we do first? So let's do a simple charms here. This is purple yellow. I think I'll take this multicolor one. I already did a few too. Okay, so I picked out this cameo. I thought it would be really pretty for like a junk journal. And then I just found a couple beads that kind of went with it. And I'm going to put one on each side. So I need my jump rings. And this kit I can link. I got off of Amazon a while ago, just so that I had, because I have jump rings that I get from Michaels and stuff also. But sometimes you need, there's 6 different sizes. So they go all the way down. Like Michaels doesn't carry all the sizes. And I don't know offhand what sizes are. I think it says when you go on Amazon, I think it says in the, if I can get one out, they're like, because they have them open for you already. But you can see the difference in size. So I like to have a multi-pack like this, and it has 4 different colors. So let's put these back. And this silver one, I think we'll go with this silver. Nope, this silver matches better. So what size do we want? I think this size might be okay, because we're just adding the bead on to the side. So get a couple of those out. Goodness sakes. They're all like hooked together. It also came with, this kit came with this little ring that you put on. I don't like using this, but you put this on, you put your jump ring on there, and you're supposed to be able to, you know, I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. You're supposed to be able to open and close your jump rings. And then it has tweezers that they have taped to the back end here. And actually, I think it might stay. Nope, doesn't stay on there. But I don't use that tweezers. It's like, I just keep it there for emergencies. Okay, so now I need I prefer to have 2 of the flat nose pliers. Can't find my other, like, dozen of them. They're around here somewhere. And so I'm going to use a round nose and a flat nose. Isn't that like how it goes? You know, you can't find everything. It's like I use them up here, I use them downstairs, I use them everywhere. So I'm just going to add the jump ring on. And then we're just going to add it right on to there. I kind of like, I like to do 3s. I don't want to put a lot of beads on this. You don't want a ton of beads on, you know, these charms, because they're going on journal pages and stuff like that. And all you do is just turn, you know, you don't like put much. I'll show you on a big one. Okay, I showed you this before, but in case you haven't seen, I'll show you on the big one. So they already have them opened, which I'm not sure I like, you know, but so they're already open. So you don't want to pull them apart, okay? You just want to take, I'm going to try to see from my camera first, and you just kind of, I usually hold this side steady and use this side is the one that I move. And I just moved that one, if I can get a hold of it. Round nose isn't as good to use. So then you just want to take that one to meet. And then you meet, and it's not all the way, just kind of work it till they meet. You don't want to twist them. You don't want to pull them apart, anything like that. Okay, now let's put the other one on. Okay, get a hold of it. And put this one on. And we're going to add this on to the other side. Okay, let me get that grip better, because I don't have it in my pliers very good. Okay, I'm going to bring it up and try to do this. Let me get a hold of it first, and then I'll try to get into the camera a little bit. And then just meet them. Push that one back to meet. And then I'll look at it to make sure. And so I don't know if you can see where they're met together there. So now this one already has a little lobster clasp on, so I don't have to put one of those onto this one. So now we're just going to add it on there. Just like that. My fingers will work. And then here, I don't have an album down here. Pretend this is a page. And then you just add it on to your page like that. And you have a cute little dangle. So you can put it on the on top of your page. You can put it off to the side of your page and kind of use them as page dividers, you know. So, you know, some of the albums that I make, I can slip it inside where the binder is. I can slip it in that way too. So there is one thing you can do. And now say you don't have jump rings and all that stuff, okay? Well, you still have to have a jump ring, but if you don't like really messing with them, we're going to use some wax cording for this one. And then, let's see, what do I have picked out here? Let me grab everything out of here. Okay, so for this one, I'm doing some yellow. So I got all these beads, and see how this will work. So I picked out these beads. You need a seed bead because the holes on these are a little big, so when you knot your string. So we're just gonna go do that. Stay. Let's see. I'm gonna need my jump ring is there, and I closed my jump ring, so close your jump ring. And this one has to go a little better. So just close it. Otherwise, you know, we'll have to open it, but when we're putting the string in. And I like to have more string than I need. That's how I operate. Don't get rid of your little itsy bitsies because you can use those for things. Okay, so now I'm going to put it through the jump ring. Just put it through the jump ring, and then we are going to meet the bottoms. Meet the little bottoms. Okay, now you need a bead threader. So I have my little ones and I have my big ones. So this is my really big one. I will link these, and this is my little one. So first thing I'm going to do is I want this bead here, so I'm going to string it, the bead threader through, and then we're going to put our string through the opening. Make sure you get both of them. And this is wax cording. I like using wax cording because it holds a little better, tightens, ties better. So you got it through there now, and then all I do is take my bead and slide my bead out, and I'm going to push it all the way to the top. And then make sure like you don't have like extra string up there, kind of straighten it all out nicely. All right, now we're going to use this bead. I always like to add, this one might be up, I think it might just work. Otherwise, I have to use the big one. I like to have a little bit bigger beads mixed with the small beads. Stop turning on me. I'm probably going to regret just not using the big one right off the bat because, yeah, it needs the big one because I don't have enough space. And this one's getting kind of twisty. They kind of twist after a while, these big ones. I'm not sure this is actually a bead threader or something else, but it works wonderfully. Pull that through. Okay, so now we have 2 of them hooked on there. Now we are going to put the other translucent one there. And we are going to put it right on through. Just like that. All right, now we need to put the tiny one on. And they can be fun, but they fit in these little ones. So you can see that I got it right through the seed bead. Same thing, we're just gonna put this thread through there and pull our bead right up there. So now the bead can't go through that bead, the hole. And now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna tie a knot. Okay, that's all we wanna do on this one. Just tie a knot, and I like to get it nice and tight. And then tie it. Now here, if you're not, I'm gonna leave it untied for a second. If you're unsure or you're a little afraid that it might not stay tied, put a dab of glue. I'm gonna use super glue, but your art glitter works good. It's just that I don't have time to sit here and let it dry. So I'm just gonna put a little dab right on top the knot there before I tighten it. And hopefully this one's not empty. I see a little drop coming out. Okay, and you don't need much of this. I've been using this for another project. Grab it and tighten. That's all you need to do. So that way, if you think it might come untied, although when I use a wax cording, I've never had one come untied on me yet. Now, you can decide on this one. I think I'm going to cut the strands all the way down. You can leave some of the strands if you want hanging down, but I think I want to cut this one down. Okay, so you have that. Same thing. Now we're going to open it back up. Let me get my cover on my super glue there. I don't think I need, I need it one more time yet for something. Okay, I'm going to turn that so it's up. And let's take a gold one. This one's got the gold flakes in. And we're going to open this back up. And put it in. Don't fall back out. Doing stuff like this with my hands can always be a challenge for me. And then we touch. So we have it closed. You can see it's nicely closed. And now you have, and you can, when you put it in your page, you can have the charm either going down. This one's getting stuck in the, there we go. So you can have it hanging down like that, or you can flip it and so it kind of maybe shows more, but some of them won't hang as nicely that way. So you can choose that on your own. Okay, so now we have the one with 3 charms on, and we just have this one here, we use string. You can also just take, you don't even have to drill a hole. I just grabbed a couple charms quick. You don't even have to drill a hole for these. These are the ones I showed you on another video where we just glue a charm on. And, you know, you can put that on your album too. So I'll just do one of those quickly, just so that we're all on the same page. And I want to go right above the metal piece. You can go down as low as you want, but I like to avoid that metal piece, so just so I'm not. And I'll just hold it there for a second until it takes, which doesn't take too long. The super glue. And then you can just put that on your page too. So if you're making a Disney theme album, you can put that on your page, and then you don't have no dangles, or you still could put dangles on. You could put dangles. It's not dry yet, but so you could put dangles. I'm going to be brave about this. You could put dangles on there also with the charm. So you can dangle and charm, which I've done that before too. Or just add the little flat back. There, it's hard. I can tell it's just grabbing now. So I'm going to put this off to the side. So we got the 3, 3, 3, 3. Now, how about let's use ribbon, okay? Let's use some of this white ribbon. And I want to make sure I have enough. Now, this is a little trickier to do, but I like the way it looks. This ribbon it's a sheer ribbon, which works the best, is just about 1 inch. Okay. We are going to do pretty much the same thing. So we're going to grab ourselves a jump ring. I think we're going to do these purple beads, I think. These purple beads like that. So we'll stick with silver. Let's go with this like brighter silver, white, like the silver. Let's go up to this size. I may want the biggest size. I think I'm going to go all the way to the biggest, because we got to get that ribbon can get pretty bulky. Now again, I don't like this one. They bent that one when they, see, that's the only thing I don't like about when they have them open already, because I'm not going to say they necessarily open them right. I'm going to close it just because I don't want my ribbon to be falling out of the opening while I'm trying to work on it. So keep that in mind when you buy some of these, that they are open already on a lot of them. And I don't necessarily always like that, because you get a lot of deformed jump rings. Okay, we're going to put that end through. And then we're just going to get our ends together down here. See, it already slipped through there. So I'm going to tighten that up a little bit more. I left a little bitty gap. And then that'll do it. All right, you better be a good little jump ring. Once I get the first bead on, we're okay. But to get that first bead on, I got to make sure I'm not anywhere near. Okay, now just get these as close together as you can. Don't worry about it. Just going to straighten this out a little bit up here, which we can do when we put the bead in. Now, I'm going to do the little bead first, and I'm going to take my big one. I have a little bit more space. I'm going to run that through. Take both ends, run them through the whole opening there. I got them both, okay. And now there's a lot, you're going through a lot of fabric. Oops. You are going through a lot of fabric, so you're going to have to give it a good pull maybe. But it goes through fairly easy. But you need a bead, one of these. You need to have one. And I'll link the big one and I'll link the little one. Now you can see where I got a little bit of bulk up by the jump ring. All we're going to do is pull our ribbon, find out which ribbon is the one you need to pull. And we'll straighten that out. Tighten it up, make it nice and tight and pretty. These are one of my favorites. I love doing the ribbon ones on junk journals and albums. Okay, so now I'm going to put this down and we'll grab our big bead. And I'll grab my two ends here. Put them through. And all I'm going to do is pull. Again, we're just going to pull that so there's no bulk hanging around up the top. Looks like I'm putting a little snowman together, a glittery snowman. Okay, so we have the two right there so far. Now let's put the small one. And this one doesn't matter because it's got a big hole. Because when you tie the end, this is so thick, it's not going to go through the hole. So don't worry about that because you can see how big the hole is on that one. I love these little beads. I got these a while ago on Temu. I think I might be able to still find them for you. But I use these a lot for beaded pens and pokey tools and beaded projects. And I love the glitter, the glitz on them. Just pop that out again. And we're just going to pull that one, get all that extra ribbon. And then we have that lovely little look. This middle bead's not the best bead. It's got some, like, almost looks like glitter, like they painted, but they didn't paint. I have a feeling they got glue on it, and then the glue gets everything. So that's kind of disappointing. Okay, wait, I gotta get this one a little bit more. I can see some wanting to peek out there. Okay. So we have that. Now all we're going to do is tie ourselves a knot. Whoops. I want to do it this way because we're going to leave it on. So I'm going to hold both together. And this can be tricky because you want to get your knot all the way down to the bottom. So when I put it through, you can tie it the other way, but I want it because I'm leaving the ribbon on. Then I'm just going to slowly pull so that my knot goes all the way down to the end of that bead before I pull too tight. And I'm going to see if I can straighten all that out. It's going to be bulky looking, but I like that. And so now you have that. So it's good and knotted there. So you don't have to even do any more to it. But if you think that's going to come out, let's do the glue trick again. But I have never had this one come out. Same thing though. I would put a dab of glue there and then just tie it and bring it in tight. I have never had that come out. So I am not going to do that. Now you decide how long you want your tail. And we're going to ribbon cut it. And I always tend to cut the wrong way. You guys do that? No, I can't. I'm trying to get this even. Working with a sheer ribbon can be so much fun. And hopefully these are good scissors. And yeah, that wasn't a very good cut. I didn't go down far enough. Oh, I did cut the wrong way. You know, we're going to go with it because, let me see if I can fix it. I do that every time. Okay, let's go this way. Voila! Jean sometimes knows what she's doing, but not always. And then you can make them even or go a little bit longer or whatever you like. Try to make them even. And then you have that one. These are my favorite ones. Okay, let me see. Let's put that on a purple one. This one has purple little things on it. Because ribbon with junk journals and albums is just, they go together. It's like peanut butter and jelly. They go together. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Open it up. You don't need to open it too far. And we're going to put it in there. And close it up. Having the right tools is always, you know, the best thing. Just a tiny bit more. Let's put that one. You can kind of see that one. How that would be hanging off of your junk journal. Take my glasses off so I can see my computer better. Those are my favorite. And see, you don't need, all you need is just a jump ring. You don't need no charms, really, just some beads. And you can use any kind of beads. Here I use the smaller beads for you so that you can still use the smaller beads. These had a pretty large hole on them. I don't go too big in width for my beads. This is probably only, let me see, a little guess. It's probably 10 millimeter, the biggest one. And then I had one more that I did off camera when I was doing the other ribbon. So here I just took 3 different ribbons. I took a red sheer and a red satin and a pink satin. And I just simply tied them. Then I took some red, any kind of string. I used the wax cording. And I tied them, all the ribbon together so that it wouldn't be like everywhere. I kind of wanted those to be somewhat under control. And then all I did was glue a charm, a flat back, right to cover all that up on this. And I think I really, this one's so really pretty for, and the album I'm working on, I don't think it'll work on. The colors are all wrong. But we can make one. So there's that one. So let's move some of this back so we can kind of show what we did. So simple as that. Just go ahead and, put a flat back on it. Let me grab, put these in a plate, so you can put a little flat back on it, or you can throw some charms. So I did if I can get that to lay nicely, one on each side, please. Thank you. No fighting. You're on camera. Can you please cooperate for the camera? And then we have this one. Then we have this one. And you can put anything on. Beads. You can put, you can use silicone beads. You can, use whatever you have. And there is your selection of different ways you can add charms and clothespins for your journals, junk journals, anything you want to use them on. That's how simple it is to drill a hole and add something to it. So like these are like my favorites because I like doing ribbons, but these are pretty too. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one and you picked up a few little ideas. And as always, guys, I will see you later. Bye now.